today, it's a matter that, I couldn't have green.
I really wonder why you're smiling right
because, it's the quest to legalize the use of marijuana. You know, that conversation has been going on in different parts of the world, and now it is also here because the House of Reps themselves, well, it looks as if they are set to do that as well. Legalize the use of Indian hemp for, they say, economic benefits of the country. And that's why we've got Dr. Samuel Adekola joining us here this morning. He's the National Chairman, Association of Community Pharmacists of Nigeria. Good morning, and thank you for coming on today.
Thank you, Chamberlain. It's a pleasure to be here.
You know, several months ago, years ago, somebody said that the pharmacists will be speaking about legalizing the use of marijuana. Many will disagree. In fact, today, people were still trying to wrap their heads around it. What do you think of this, first of all?
Well, that's a good, it's the best thing that can happen right now is this discourse. Of course, let me tell you, it's not about Nigeria. It's about the nation. We're talking about WHO. It is WHO direction of discourse. WHO has, by the meeting of the UN on December 2nd, has given the leeway to this. It's been happening in some other part of the world that took there, but now, internationally, the convention has been removed, this 1961 convention, to the effect that is an hard drug, is a opioid, is purely bad drug. It has now become a pharmaceutical and a drug.
I know you must have met several people who will say, oh, wait a minute, do we know what we're dealing with if we told this line? Are we ready for that?
But what are we talking about, Mr. Mali? We're talking about, we want to talk about drugs. You know, drugs, you are not the one to tell me about what pharmaceutical, what drug is now.
Yeah, but I don't use it.
You're just talking as a layman. I'm saying that this is what we need it. It's not even, I'm not even looking at economic issue.
Why do we need it? Why do we need it?
Because we need to use to treat our patients. We need to treat our people. Our people needs it. So it is not about, I'm talking about pharmaceutical, the medicinal benefit now.
We'll come to this, yes. Doctor, but don't forget, the number one inhibition, the mental inhibition a number of people will have is the perception.
Yes.
You understand that perception.
Yes.
How have we even, have we been able to cross that line?
Yeah,
perception
that's good.
line first.
To get people, it is true that every change will need restriction. There will always be opposition and restriction to it. And you don't blame anybody. Everybody talks from his point of advantage, the understanding you have. And like the Bible says, my people perish because of lack of knowledge. And that's the point here. And the discourse has just commenced. By June 7 and 8 in Ondo State, the National Assembly will be having a roundtable discourse. We are every stakeholder. You can't even come there, come and ask us your questions. We are willing. We are willing. Let us take it. Whoever has it. It's not about so a die is cast. It's about getting people, encouraging people, getting people to know, bringing everybody to generate the same understanding. That's the point here. It's not about, of course, we don't have the power. Nobody has the power right now to say, oh yes, legalize this. It is done. No. But we've seen the enormous advantage in this. We've seen it as pharmacists, as a people of Nigeria. We've seen enormous advantage in this. And that is why we felt that, okay, if other clients, if other people are taking benefit, are taking advantage of this in different areas, why not we? Nigeria we should not continue to play the last man, the last rounds of any game.
Okay, now, the NDLEA has said time and again that if you look through the crime rate, which is soaring in this country, they say that over 90% of the crime committed in this country are those who are under the influence
of drugs. Yes.
So now, are you considering this statistics as you mute this notion?
The drug we are talking about is not only, yes. Either you legalized or you don't legalize. What you are talking about is there. We are even talking about, even there are products, let me tell you right now, there are simple drugs that you use for your cold and catarrh that are precursor to a stronger drug. Drug you use for cold and catarrh, and they are being produced in this country illegally. So, what are you talking about?
Stronger than
there are stronger
marijuana.
Here. We're talking about methamphetamine. You understand? From just your drug and kata drug that you use. People,
doesn't that suggest, Dr. Abayomi, doesn't that suggest that I beg your pardon, Dr. Adekola, doesn't that suggest that the OTC that you just referenced now, there is a problem of control? If there is a problem of control of the ones that are not banned, how then are we thinking of controlling the ones that are at this moment banned?
But the issue again is this. We're even talking about, there are stages in this discourse. Sincerely yours. If we look at one of the stages we're talking about control. Now, WHO has said, okay, we have removed this from a prohibited list. It's now available for pharmaceutical use. If
you don't mind me just butting in, my apologies.
Yes.
The WHO removed that and put it on a list of those that are not allowed.
Yes.
I don't know if WHO also considered the 1935 Dangerous Drugs Act.
That's what I'm saying.
That was done.
That's what I'm saying. From 1935 to 1961. So which one is latest? 1961. After which, a whole lot of researches and all were done about it. By 2nd of December 2020, a vote was, put on the table. The United Nations say, sorry, this drug, this has more potential in terms of health benefit. You're talking about health benefit. There's nothing on heart. That's the truth. There's nothing on heart. Even your water that I just drank here, there's really nothing on heart that doesn't have its disadvantage. If you misuse it, if you abuse it, paracetamol will kill faster than hemp. Paracetamol that you are using will kill. If you are given 40 tablets of, 20 grams of paracetamol before the close of tomorrow, you are dead, gone. Nothing, there's nothing to
which returns that question of control.
Yes. That's what we're saying. We're talking about control. What the first phase of this is control cultivation. That's the first one. Control cultivation. Because of immense benefit, immense opportunities that is just there. We cannot unlock it. There are just too many. You understand? In your body, I'm sorry to say, your system, we have a cannabinoid cannabinoid system in your body that today regulates virtually so many part of you. Inside of you is there. The system inside of you is inside of me.
Is that why Kim Chamberlain behaves the way?
He says you.
Well, it's Chamberlain as well. Even me.
But Dr. Adekola, I'm sorry, Chamberlain. See, the challenge is here. There's quite a lot.
Yeah.
There's something Chamberlain started with, and that is the fact that what the mere understanding that this is cannabis. Are you sure you're talking about the same cannabis that people are talking about? Is it the same one people call Igbo?
My brother, I'm telling you, it is M. It is Igbo. Let me tell you, they're just two. It's just like cannabis like this. They're just two components. One, the one that is troublesome. The other part, advantage. Now, perhaps the first one that we saw was the THC, which is the one that is causing trouble that the world was first understood. But now that it has been understood, we say, oh, sorry, we even have more advantage in this, what we call evil. You understand? More good than the evil we talked about. Now the reconciliation comes. So it is not about Nigeria. It's not like somebody just wake up here in Nigeria and now start thinking. So what we are talking about here is let us listen, let us open our eyes to say, okay, what informed this decision even up there? People who have gone far past, what are you talking about here? I'm sorry. We are talking about people who have gone past, who have seen it all, who have understood, people who regulate us, believe that the best for us right now is to go this path. And
those people who have gone far, as you say, certain things where there were conditioned precedents, certain things that they put in place.
Yeah.
Again, I refer to the NDLEA because they say that at the moment that there's several, in fact, I think the word they used was thousands of containers of tramadol unleashed on this country.
4.9 million capsules.
Some of them seized just 2 days ago. And then you have the soaring unemployment rate in this country. Those are idle hands, which is the highest for a while now in this country. And then you have how many millions of illegal weapons, small and light arms in this country?
About 350 million.
As we speak, even referenced by General Abdul Salam. And then we're talking about legalizing marijuana for medical purposes.
Yeah.
NDLA currently has a huge challenge
Yeah.
of even trying to contain some of these drugs.
Yes.
And then, bam, comes
My
this.
God, why?
So what are we doing to ensure that, wait a minute, do we have the capacity? Because that, when you say the good and the bad, yes, the good ones are there for medical purposes, but you know how human nature is. It is that, those bad ones that you don't want them to go, that is the one they will go
But
for.
they have been going there before. Now,
So they should go there more now.
No, let me tell you, see, we are only crying too loud, crying foul of what is not.
No, these are perceptions that you need to deal with.
That's why I say we have to come to table and open our eye without sealing our heart. Nobody should, I mean, it's not about, oh, the die cast here. It's about negotiation. It is about talking, engagement. You understand? So what we're saying here is that, yes, now, I mean, NDLA, very right, they are correct. You understand? But what we're talking about here is to the extent that, oh, we have, this is what we understood about these drugs, about this a product before now. But now, we have even seen that even these people you are talking about, the so-called idle hands, can now be gainfully engaged through this means. Thousands, millions of them can now be gainfully engaged by this means, either of cultivation or in the industry where it is working. So it is not about, oh yes, you are legalizing to now say everybody go and plant it. No, it is not about that.
But don't also forget that that's where you engage these same young people.
Yes.
On this job.
Yes.
They are also exposed to it.
Oh my brother, it is because it is our indoctrination. It's our direction. It's our lack of, I was very happy. I was listening to Dr. Abayomi. He made a point, very strong point while I was talking to you guys. He talks about having a strong man that can create strong documents. You understand? It is about having strong person, having people who are ready to take a lead and lead people. It's about leadership. I'm sorry. It's about leadership. Why we have control failing? Tell me which part of Nigeria right now is right. Tell me that, oh yeah, we are controlled because we have all of this law that in place. We prohibit this. Tell me which one. We are talking about harm. Is it legalized? Now you see what we're talking about. So what are we talking? We're talking about if we have something that has more good than the evil, supposed evil. But now, if we use like the Bible says, use good to conquer evil. That's what the Bible says. That's the doctrine of Scripture. It says, use good to, don't let evil conquer you, but use good to conquer evil. So we are saying that even in this circumstance, we can use the good that is inherent, which we never knew before. 1961, that we now know. We can use that good to conquer the evil in him.
So is there a research going on in this country about this?
Several researches going on. I know in Obafemi Awolowo University, I think a couple of weeks ago, the dean there spoke with me and asked for, Faculty of Pharmacy of Obafemi University has to come and pick some sample from Ondo State to look at some of these things just right now. So, but I tell you, in Enugu, Nzuka, there are a number of researches going on. So people are ready tearing the plant around.
Now, if you're advocating that it be licensed in this country right now, but if that happens today, there's this impression that, well, that same good you talk about will be overshadowed by those who will abuse it.
That is not true.
Because, number one, do we have the capacity to police and ensure that they stick with the laws if this is licensed?
It is like we're talking about control. It is
not the same thing.
It's a control. We're talking about control cultivation. Even the state, you say state, we're going to cultivate this. You understand? What are you saying? Yes, the fact that there are few bad eggs doesn't say that there will be some few guys who will. They're
not just few these days because this is huge.
No, they are. But the good is that it takes us to, for example, I just came to Lagos. I'm sorry, I just came to Lagos about 3 years ago. But I continue to see that in Lagos, I saw the way things are so rowdy. For example, if a government just come today and say, wake up and say, oh, look, we want to change our thoughts, our value system. You understand? Assuming a government, a strong person just looks and say, we want to change our value system in Lagos. Look, in Lagos, anybody, whenever you see the person coming, respect is right. Just I mean, if that value, you create that value, it's okay. Please, we don't want, like we travel, you see the way people give way to the next person. But here it doesn't happen. I just want to think about that. Assuming government just came and said, sorry, Lagos, let us talk. We want to change the value system in Lagos so that anybody that's coming, the next person, you know that you respect him. Just give him his right. Either driver or even human being just coming. Just that alone, you take it as a project and you flog it, you walk away, and they see you stand by it, even as government. I tell you, in a short while, some of this trouble you say will be resolved.
So in terms of, I mean, you've talked about the controlled cultivation.
Yes.
What's the thinking about the packaging and the dispensing of this thing?
Yeah. Yes. Don't let me, like I said to you, in terms of dispense and packaging, it is not the hem, it is not that component that will become. Today we have CBD drugs, we have CBD products. Even for women, a number of women today uses hair cream that is hemp. But it is not, this is where you can now see what we understand it better. It is not the component, is like saying, oh, in this water, in this glass of water, half of it is evil, half of it is bad. But even that evil part can also be used for some other thing, like in Germany, it's being used for power generation.
They have a system and a structure in place. Those countries you talk about.
No, what I'm saying that if it is cultivated, the question, forget about system and whatever. The question has
no, we can't forget about systems.
That system is very important.
It's very important, but I'm saying the system is what I'm saying here now. For the question you ask, you have a component, the THC. It's not what is going to be released out in terms of the pharmaceutical product. It's not that the whole product together. It's a component. That component, as it's been manufactured in this, and it's been processed in the factory, wherever it's been. Of course, all of those will be controlled. It's been processed. That component is taken for. It's been diverted for whatever it's been used for. Whereas this other part, the CBD oil, is also taken, which is the one which is being released to the system for pain, for seizures, for all sort of things. So that is what we're talking about in terms of, okay, let factory be created. As the state grows these products, the of destroying
states, not individuals.
It's not that individual will grow. No, it's not that license for every individual will grow. No, that's not what is being said. Let control growth means that a state, for example, can grow. In a sense, an institution can grow such that they are under control. Once there's a grow, you harvest, and now there's a processing. Instead of destroying, they said today, you say, the NDLA will say they destroyed 20 trailers of hemp. As a waste. It's ridiculous to hear that kind of thing. Because this thing you are destroying, you are talking of billions of naira. You are talking of saving life that will have been saved with it. Instead of destroying, just bring it up. Bring it. Let us take it to a factory and process it. Let's take out the TSN and let's use the CBD oil. So that's the point. Is the issue. It's not that, oh yes, it is the evil that they are missed. You understand? That once there's a processing, once there's, I mean, which is going to come from a factory, then we get it good.
So there's a factory already waiting for this.
Oh, we build one.
All right. Dr. Samuel Adekola is the National Chairman, Association of Community Pharmacists of Nigeria. Thank you for coming on this morning. Well, we'd like to know what you all think about this suggestion, legalizing marijuana in our present circumstance. Well, so send us a comment or two. But for now, we'll be back and take a look at what you think of what we've spoken about today. All right, welcome back. So time to take a look at what you think.
Well, hopefully we already have this one, but Comrade Dari begins with the last conversations. The idea of legalizing the use of marijuana for medication purpose may sound nice, but considering our inefficient approach in policy implementation and effective management in public matters, I think we may be putting ourselves into more problem if that is done. Well, as Dr. Adekola said, it's still early days.
Well, Henry says, still on the marijuana matter, marijuana should be I couldn't help but laugh at this one. Look at that. It said marijuana should be left where it is. Oh dear. A controlled substance, a hard drug. We've not exhausted all the other safer pain relievers that preserve sanity of society. The havoc, tramadol, and cocaine that Oh, dear. You know, certain things are coming to mind. You know, that's why we're giggling, because we know a couple of things or two. It says the havoc tramadol and cocaine are causing have not abated. Regulation is severely poor.
Mark?
Well, Michael Stanley has a different opinion. He says legalizing marijuana does not only have economic benefits, but great health benefits. He puts that in caps, as well as marijuana has lots of health benefits. But truth is, can we really manage this? That is, control how it is actually used. That's what Michael Stanley is tweeting this morning.
Well, Felix is saying on the issue of legalizing the use of cannabis, the government needs to think it through extensively. Can't the supposed benefits be gotten from other plants that doesn't have the destructive and addictive effect of cannabis?
Well, AGK, as he says, on legalizing marijuana, so we keep chasing rats while our house is on fire. Legalization of marijuana should not be a top priority. First, legalize compulsory education, compulsory accountability for public officers, and barring of corrupt individuals from holding public office.
And this one is the ban on open grazing. Mohammed Idris Adam says Nigerians can only respect ourselves when the government create reasons for us to know the value of one another. And he uses that hashtag, restructure Nigeria, please.
Alexander says on open grazing, if the cows come to the south by road, the grasses loved by the cows can be exported back for revenue. A lot to be gained on the value chain. This isn't the Stone Age. Malami really shocked me with his words. Makes me wonder.
Dr. Akwawans says a new legal agreement in the form of a constitution, if well documented to capture the unique peculiarities of Nigeria, will guarantee peace and prosperity in the country.
And Ono says a new constitution will not save us. Our attitude towards the law will. Our present laws are being disregarded without consequences. Will that change under a new constitution? A case in point is the Police Act 2020. Think on it.
Olagunjusa is still on restructuring Nigeria. Whenever they mention the federal hegemony interference with the development of Nigeria, it's swarmed by anti-Semitism. We all know restructuring is the way forward, but the owners of Nigeria, in quote, will not have it. We should understand that development is local. Look, we all own Nigeria.
Absolutely.
We all do.
Ismaila says, nice discussion on devolution of powers, but there was no mention of the governor starting by relinquishing the hold of the judiciary, local government, and state assembly. Well, you may need to go listen again, because there was some mention of at least one or two of them.
A lot of mention.
Yeah.
And Hinter says the call for restructuring, he says boring, boring, boring. The intertwining over restructuring is so boring that just makes it look like a tea party. Should each administration that comes to power waste funds in sitting people down somewhere on resolutions that never come to pass? It's a big question. Then you also have this one from Adewale Deborah, who says, pray for... Oh, it's the prayer for Nigeria. God, let your peace reign everywhere in Nigeria. This confusion is too much.
Okay, before you take your last one, Mark, I just got this one separately.
Shall we say amen to that?
Yeah, well, this one is from Emmanuel. He says, I don't think we'll capture that, though. It came in late. The problem of local government was created by the Constitution and not the making of the state governors. The local government joint account is a creation of the Constitution. The governors cannot solve problems created by the joint account without constitutional amendment. Equally, Section 7 of the Constitution empowers the state houses of assembly to create local government, but empowers National Assembly to sanction it.
But we haven't been hearing the houses of assembly. We've been hearing more of the governors.
There you go.
Mark?
Well, I guess that's all I have to leave it for the program this morning.
Oh, dear.
I mean, it's been a very interesting conversation, and It's very remarkable to know that the last conversation which we had on cannabis generated the amount of comments
You bet
that
it will.
did. And I think that should be no surprise, really. And I think that we're going to see what it's going to be like in the days to come, because this is now being sponsored by the spokesperson of the House,
dear.
who is putting forward this bill in the National Assembly. Let us see how that conversation eventually goes. But thank you so much for watching. It's finally Friday. Thank God it's Friday. I'm Malkwe Ogu Yusuf.
Wait for the legalization.
Amayo Makinde, please stay safe.
I'm Jane Bellido, so we'll see you next time.